Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a look at this 2018 Mercedes-Benz E220d AMG Line. And this is going to be a full, in-depth tour of the E-Class. We'll start it up, show the engine, as well as show you the features on the interior, as well as exterior. And before I begin, I'd like to give a massive shout out to the Junction Autopark, located in Llandudno Junction, North Wales, for allowing me to come out and film this car. For more information regarding current inventory and contact info, please check out the link in the description below. And so, without further ado, let's get it started up and let it run. So, black exterior, with black leather and Alcantara interior. Has just over 31,000 miles on the clock. Fires right up. Leather wrapped steering wheel with side grip extensions, perforation inserts, silver accenting and flat bottom design. Has a 9-speed automatic transmission with manual shift, and when you select reverse, brings up your backup camera with guidance lines. And we'll go ahead and turn on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps, and the hazards. All 4 windows are automatic, and we'll go and check out the exterior, shall we? "19-inch wheels, LED headlamps. You also have front and rear parking sensors. No idea what's going on up there. Has a 2-litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder engine, puts out 191 brake horsepower, does 0 to 60 in 7.1 seconds, and has a top speed of 149 miles an hour. Power locks, power windows, power mirrors, heated seats, boot release, semi-powered driver's seat with power recline, power height adjustment and manual sliding. You also have side airbags, and we'll go ahead and here she sounds. Does sound pretty good. Not bad at all. Dual zone automatic climate control. Fan speed. Individual temperatures for both sides. Different zones. One touch automatic, max front defrost, rear defrost, sync, recycling, AC on and off, and other options. Different stations.
In the next hour of the programme from 10 o'clock.
Decent sounding audio system.
Over a period, you might say, look, what we want to do is deal with this and straight away through a strike.
FM/AM, DAB digital radio.
I would want to reflect upon further.
One thing we don't want to do here
Preset options.
is to force people into some kind of declaration of
information.
But is there any area where you felt you became a bit closer in terms of either mutual self-interest,
Sound settings.
greater understanding, Alan?
No, I think because Andrew was describing the changes that have happened since the 70s, some of them legislative changes. You can't have a strike unless you balloted before.
And other options.
And the fact that workers now, by and large, would prefer to solve disputes.
Traffic
in other
announcements.
ways. I think that's probably always the case, but it's more so now. So the reason that strike action has gone down to such a low level...
Media.
His position quite impressive, but in the end,
Navigation.
I don't feel like he's shifted me from my point of view, because I think that in the end, I fundamentally still see strikes as rather an old-fashioned thing in the UK context, having some value internationally, and that the right answer has to be to get our policy framework correct. So in the end, I feel like that becomes the red line for me. My optimism about that is something which I'm not likely to be shaken upon in an hour's discussion here.
Gosh, Gabrielle, that was interesting. So the red line was redrawn there firmly at the end by Andrew, but we did have a rather flexible conversation around it.
I'm a great believer that what we think is shaped by our experiences and what we're actually exposed to. And I have
Destination.
to say I'm very impressed by your abilities actually to listen to each other and take each other's arguments seriously. But then people did go back to their red lines, and of course in the end the challenge is how do we manage radical differences. But I was quite confident that if they sat in the same space, they probably wouldn't end up walking out the room, but actually would find a way of working something out between them.
Thank you very much indeed to our guests, to Alan Johnson and Andrew Lillico, and as always to Gabrielle Rifkind, and thanks to you for listening to us meeting across the
And vehicle settings.
Across the Red Line was presented by Anne McElvoy with Gabrielle Rifkind, and it was produced by Phil Tinline.
On BBC Radio 4.
Look at what she's wearing now. They're like big belt stories.
Different driving modes.
Casey Hayford, a historian and the director of the V&A East Museum, as I weave
Eco.
the very human history of fashion.
Comfort.
Unfortunately,
Sport.
the craft of knitting
Sport Plus.
in a fishing village. I think what
And individual.
I'll be looking at the politics of the early cotton trade, the legacy of synthetic dyes, and much more.
Fully customizable.
The miniskirt as being a form of objectification of the female body.
Torn, a history of fashion, on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds, next Monday to Friday afternoon at 1:45.
The daily service is just getting underway over on Radio 4 Longwave, while here on FM it's time for the next episode of Kit Duvall's memoir about her unpredictable
Automatic parking.
childhood in 1960s Birmingham. Today, Kit and her sister Kim navigate their Irish mother's devotion to the Jehovah's Witnesses, while their dad, who dreams of returning home to St. Kitts,
Ambient lighting.
loses himself in the telly.
Without Warning and Only Sometimes, written and read by Kit Duvall. Episode 2. There's only one warm room in the house. It's the room that belongs to my father, the telly room. A huge brown Draylon chair sits at a perfect angle to the telly.
It's pretty much your standard Mercedes-Benz Infotainment system,
Elsewhere in the house. You
so it's pretty simple to use.
and you watch Dad's choice. Dad
Fuel consumption.
watch the telly as devour it. Silence is absolute. If you speak, you leave the room. Those are the rules. When it comes to films, he knows everything. Halfway through Gone with the Wind, he turns from the screen and speaks to all 5 of us stuffed together on the sofa. Who was Clark Gable married to? Carol Lombard, Dad. Good. And we must know the name of every black actor and every film they're in. Hattie McDaniel, Sidney Poitier, Sammy Davis Jr. We know why he lives inside the telly, because we do it too. We escape our little house, the cold and his job and our school and the Jehovah's Witness.
Power outlet.
On Sunday, we're watching a film with Dad. It's a cowboy film in black and white with little Audie Murphy on a white horse. We sit
Parking
in the road
sensors
on the sofa,
and auto
wait
stop
for
start.
dinner, half dozing in the warm, dark fog. Dad suddenly jerks his chin to the kitchen. Listen, he whispers.
USB inputs.
Mom is singing. Not the ordinary tidying up the kitchen singing, but the performance of a...
Auto dimming rear view mirror.
It's 1956. She's Ella Fitzgerald, live at the London Palladium.
SOS emergency roadside assistance.
Turns down the volume and tiptoes towards the door. He picks up his newspaper and rolls it into a baton. Watch, he says. She's coming to a crescendo when Dad yanks the door open and goes running into the kitchen, we're on his heels. The lyrics die on Mom's lips. Dad has the newspaper high in the air. Let me get it for you, Sheila.
Audio controls. Hands-free phone controls. And cruise control.
Of looking around inside the cupboards behind the chairs. They cannot see him. Mom stands in the middle of the kitchen with her 5 children watching, and Dad shakes his head as though the penny has finally dropped. Oh, he says, lowering his weapon. You is singing. I thought someone did attack you. He's laughing a rippling belly laugh.
Pretty amazing vehicle. Let's go ahead and shut her down. Let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? Same power height adjustment, power recline, and manual sliding for the passenger seat. Well viewers, thanks so much for watching this in-depth tour of this 2018 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and a big thanks to Junction Autopark for allowing me to come and film it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and peace out.